Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Curtis's Podcast Network. This is This AFC South show number 120, and thank you for joining us. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're currently sitting at 370, which is we're kind of going, doing one of the waves right now. But hey, we're going back up, and that's hype. So let's keep the momentum. Let's get let's do 15 likes on this episode. And let's try to get 5 subs. All right. So Titans fans out there, hit the thing, hit the button, hit the button. We're gonna be talking nothing but Titans. We're gonna be talking nothing but TNF, and we're going to be having a good time doing it. At least I will be, because you guys are going to be, probably a little upset. With me tonight, we've got Mayor himself. Flush with as much mayo as one could possibly ingest, and and Titan Fox, our fill-in Titans guy from time to time. So we got a good show. Blake couldn't be here tonight, but we're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock it like a mother. So let's get it. The Titans fall in Pittsburgh, 20-16, continuing the road losing streak starting last year. So the Titans are currently 0-5 on the road this season, which is a crazy stat. But it does mean that most of the games ahead of them are home games. So they got a fighter's chance. But it was painfully obvious watching this game that the offense wasn't the issue, like, at all throughout most of the game. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed at all. Like, it was bad.
First drive.
When you're letting the Pittsburgh Steelers run the ball, and not just run the ball well, but like really, really running the ball. Pretty sure Jalen Warren had like 8.5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So dude was playing lights out last night. The Steelers continue their just utter surprising run of poor play and finding wins. It just happened to be the expense of the Titans tonight or last night. So who wants to go first and talk about this game?
You're up, Mayo, man.
Yeah, you always go first. Yeah, very, very disappointing. Very disappointing game. Like you alluded to, Kurt. The rush defense, I don't know what's happened, because the first, I think, 5 games of the season, they were 4th in the league in rushing. And so all of a sudden, now they're the worst in the past 4 games. So obviously, opposing coaches have seen something to take advantage of on the defense. I don't like our linebacker play this year. I think Azeez Al-Shaair is a good linebacker. I think he's really good in coverage. I don't think he's the best as far as like run defense. I think this is where we kind of miss a David Long. Even a Zach Cunningham, even though he wasn't the best in coverage, he was a hell of a good run stopper. I think that, if we had maybe David Long and Al-Shaair, I think maybe it'd be a little bit different. Maybe Danico Autry hasn't played that well in run defense this year. Big Jeff is Big Jeff. Sierra Tart, everybody knows how good he is. Maybe we miss a Bud Dupree, who wasn't the best pass rusher, but he was good at run defense. Maybe Arden Key, who is a little bit on the slender side, maybe that has something to do with it. I think Arden Key is a good pass rusher, but he's slender. He's very. Have you guys ever noticed how small he is as a defensive end?
Yeah.
I'm not watching no all 22. These are just random observations. I have done no research. I'm just asking the questions. Another thing is, I need to figure out why Mike Vrabel hates Dylan Raditz, because every time he is forced to put Dylan Raditz in the game against a elite defensive line talent, Dylan Raditz plays well every time. He shut down Bosa from the 49ers, and he played really well against TJ Watt last night. So I need an answer, and I need one expeditiously, why that man has not been in the game the whole year, and you've let Andre Dillard and you've let NPF just come on out there and play like blue garbage. what in the hell is that? Like, I don't get, like, and really, Andre Dillard is bad. MPF is just as bad, guys. MPF is just as bad. His technique is off. He's always overplaying, and then defensive linemen get on the inside of him like way too much. He did it. Wasn't it the Ravens game where he had got in? It was one game that he got in after his suspension. Was that the Ravens game?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
He let somebody do that to him like the second or third play that he got in, and nobody wanted. Everybody on the radio was talking about, oh yeah, MPF played good yesterday. I'm like, man, the devil is a liar. He played like garbage. It's just he just wasn't as worse as Dillard, but he's and my thing is with, and another thing I'm gonna say is the play calling. I mean, before the half, okay, you're driving. Will Levis has led you all the way down the field. I think Will Levis played pretty good yesterday. I don't have a complaint about how he played. But on that 2nd down and 10, he missed Tajay Spears. People are like, oh, Tajay Spears slipped. Yeah, he did. But if you know anything about football, you know that route is a common running back route out the backfield at that side of the field. I've seen plays like that. They run plays like that in Madden. You don't have to be some X's and O's expert. Everybody knows that route goes to the power line in the end zone. Will Levis, he threw it too much in the inside. Tajay Spears is not DeAndre Hopkins. He's not gonna be able to adjust to that ball like that. Okay. Now, if that was a wide receiver, maybe. If that's a tight end, maybe. Tajay Spears is looking for the ball to go, and then if Will Levis just hits him right there, the Titans win the game because it would be tied at 20. They would have went down there and got a field goal, and we wouldn't even be talking. We'd be talking about how great Will Levis is, and I'd be eating this mayonnaise right now. Okay, but I'm not. I'm gonna say it. And then a lot of people, they don't like the 3rd down and 4 when we had the ball with like a little bit over 2 minutes left. I don't mind the play call. What I have it because I thought they were going to do that. The problem that I have with it is if you're going to run the ball, why don't you use your Hall of Fame running back instead of your rookie? If you're going to do it, why don't you do it with one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best? I have a big problem with that. I also have a problem with Vrabel not committing to. First of all, I would have committed to Will Levis after the first game. If you're going to score 4 touchdowns, you know this guy is going to be the future. You know Ryan Tannehill most likely is not going to come back next year. So why don't you just score? I can understand maybe if Will Levis didn't play that good last week, but he did. And then this game, he showed that even when he doesn't have a good pocket and he's being pressured, he's not turning over the ball. Now, he did get fortunate on some throws, but the fact of the matter is, what I like about Will Levis the most is he knows where the pressure is coming from majority of the time. Like he's got that clock in his head, like, hey, I got to get rid of this ball. Okay. Will Levis is going to be a great quarterback. I think everybody, even LeBron James even said it last night. If you were paying attention, tweeted about Will Levis last night. Okay. So my biggest issue with this game is just the coaching, is malpractice. I don't get why that's my biggest thing is, why isn't Dylan Raditz somewhere on this offensive line? Put him at left tackle. When you get Chris Hubbard back, I think Chris Hubbard's played pretty well. So I need Dylan Raditz on the left side. I need Big Sko, left guard. I need Brunk Skill, my right guard. Brewer, my center. And then let's play it from there. But I think last night's loss, it's all on the coach.
Yeah. TF?
Yeah, actually, a lot of great points, Mayor. To be honest, I have never understood why they've consistently misused Radens, because, I mean, he was a left tackle all through his college career. It was great. That's why we drafted him as early as we did. And then you throw him in at right tackle, and it's like good friend of mine, James, he actually said it's like trying, if you've been a left tackle for so long and they throw you at right tackle, it's like trying to eat, if you're a right-handed person trying to eat soup with your left hand, you're like, oh, I can't do it. So he needed time to adjust. in the past couple of years, he's spent time adjusting to all those other positions. Look, they threw him in at guard, they'll throw him in at tackle, left tackle, right tackle. But I mean, when your rating of the three options you have at left tackle are Dillard with an F minus, because I mean he's just bad.
That damn cut block he did in the first half was embarrassing.
Oh, I know. He went straight for the knees. Dude just stood up and was like, well, there you are on the ground. I'm going to go get your quarterback.
It's not a screenplay. Why is he even doing it? That's why I didn't understand. That's on a screenplay. That's when you cut the defender so they can't get their hands up to get the ball. That's what you're supposed to do right there. On just a regular pass play, like, keep going, like Fox.
I know. Like I was saying, F minus for Dillard. I'm still giving MPF an F grade because he was pretty much as bad. And I mean, you go all the way back to exceeds failing. You got Dennis Daly from last year. So what are you doing? All of these are failures. You gotta fix this spot because you have a right-handed quarterback and actually three right-handed quarterbacks, and they're all getting killed. You got to make up for that. Now, I knew right from the beginning, and I hate to say this, but as soon as Pittsburgh, with a lackluster offense, an injured quarterback, and a running game that hasn't been able to get going all year, when they just ran it down the field all over us, put up 7 points, I was like, I don't think our defense showed up tonight. We got some substitute stand-ins up in here? Like, it threw me for a loop. I was just like, you know what? I knew our defensive backfield was going to be bad. I didn't know Sean Murphy-Bunting was going to be out. I did not even see the play. And I watched every single play of that game. I did not see any notification that he got injured. They just said, oh, well, Trey Avery is in there. I'm like, what?
I didn't. You know what? This is the first time I've even heard about he was out. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah, he was out pretty much the whole game. He left early, but I didn't see any play where it happened. Nobody said, hey, Sean Murphy-Bunting is being helped over the sidelines. Nothing like that. It was just, hey, I noticed there's a different number on the field. No more 0. What? And, you know, we're down McCreary. Of course, Elijah Molden he's still getting his feet wet as far as being a safety. He's not used to it. And he did not look great. Neither did the Bears substitute that we got for Bayard.
You talking about the Eagles? Trey Edmond?
Sorry, Eagles, yeah. No, the Bears substitute was Gibson. And he didn't put up he wasn't impressive either. And I'm just like, our defense is getting worse and worse by the moment. Mm-hmm. And that used to be our staple. Like people used to say, you can't run on the Titans. Dude, they got one of the best run defenses. They put up 166 yards on us with 2 backs. And we just had no answer to it whatsoever.
There's something there, and like I've told you guys before, I'm not the best X's and O's guys. X and O guy, but there's something that somebody's seeing on the film that the Titans have not adjusted to yet. I don't know, like if they are. They're getting to the second level too easily on our linebacker. So I don't know if that's a personnel issue. I don't know if we need somebody else next to Big Jeff, maybe Danico Autry and having a good year. I don't know. I haven't really just watched him to like really know. Like how I watch the offensive line, I don't watch the defensive line like that. I'm looking at something else, but just not. I don't know. It's just there. I just hate that the first few games of the year, you shut down a run, and then the last 4 games, folks are running for like 130 yards plus. It's not like they're running for 101. No, they're having humongous games. So there's and then the offensive lines that they face are supposed to not be. The Colts offensive line wasn't supposed to do that, and they did what they did. Damn near ran for 200 yards. Steelers' offensive line wasn't supposed to be good.
And it wasn't even Jonathan Taylor putting up those numbers. It was their second string running back.
Yeah, it was the sweet life of Zach Moss that day. It's crazy.
Yeah, Moss was going crazy on us, and
He was.
there was nothing we could do to stop it. And you feel so helpless as a fan when you watch something like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, I can attest to this. There were times when we put the wrong personnel in, period. And I'm gonna put that right on the coaching staff. As a matter of fact, for the first time, I'll be able to quote my girl who was sitting next to me, trying to listen to her book on tape, little audio book. But she finally took her earbud out, and she's like, "Who is Kyle Pecco? He's not even on your team. Why are you screaming at the screen to get this guy out of the defensive lineup?" And I'm like, "You don't understand, baby. You don't understand. Get him out of there, because every time that I see his number on the defensive line, they're running big plays on us, like getting first downs every single time." So yeah, I'm screaming at my screen. It's what I do. I'm tired. What's
I'm
that?
gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, and you can go back and watch some of the highlight games. You'll see his number. If you don't see Tart out there, or if it's not just Simmons and Autry, you got Pecco out there, and he's just getting blown up. He's putting gigantic holes in the defense. They're running right through, and you're just like, can somebody take this guy out? Just the sidelines. All right, we got players. I don't care if they're tired. Put the good players in. And I felt that way about a lot of the game. I will say this, though. I was expecting to see a rookie performance from Levis, like a real rookie performance. His first showing was like phenomenal rookie, like not even a rookie. He looked like a vet. And in this showing, he looked more like a rookie, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Poor guy had to work with five injuries on his offensive line. I mean, you're going to be running. Still played like a professional. I mean, even when he was taking sacks, he took them the right way. Even when he was throwing close to what almost would have been an interception, you know what? Almost is better than an interception. Almost is better than a fumble, because you didn't turn the ball over. Not until the very last play of the game. That's it. And you knew that was always going to be a possibility. Any Hail Mary like that is going to be. It could go either way. It's a 50.
He had guys. I saw the all 22 today. One of good friend of mine on Twitter, he posted. He went to that too quick. He actually, somebody said that he had I think it was either Nick Westbrook, Akine, or Chris Moore open in the middle. To where
I think it was Chris Moore across the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have threw it there. But I mean, I thought he played well, so I'm not gonna get
no knocks on him. But I feel like Vrabel in his press conference knocked him, and it made me very uncomfortable. He said, "We don't have a solidified starter at quarterback," and I'm like, "Bro, if you don't by now, if you don't see it, and you're the head coach, everybody else sees it. We see it. Mayer sees it. Even Curtis Brown, he's a Texas fan. He sees it. So." What are you talking about? You don't have a solidified option at QB.
I want him drug tested.
Yeah, for real. He ate one of them brownies that tasted a little funny.
I need him drug tested. I'm sorry. It's just some people talked about on the radio today, and they was just like, well, maybe he wants to talk to. I'm not gonna. I don't care what anybody said on the radio. Like, my thing is, Braves just sounded so damn clueless on that press conference. You're talking about, I ran it on third down because I wanted to make. First of all, you had a timeout. It was only like 20 seconds left. Your quarterback led you all the way down the field, was having a monster first half. So he makes one bad throw, and I agree it was a bad throw. And you say, well, I didn't want to throw it again. Are you serious? Are you dumb? But Ryan Tannehill has thrown 6 picks the whole year, but you don't want to take him out.
you got to have faith in something, and don't let it be the person who's put up 6 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. Let it be the guy who put up 4 touchdowns and runs your offense actually down the field.
Mm-hmm.
He may not get it in. I don't care. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. But at least he's getting you there. He's giving you a – how many 3 and outs did we have? Just straight up 3 and outs. Yes.
Like 7, right? Like what, 6, 7?
No,
We did
not
terrible.
turnovers on 3rd down. Straight up, we get the ball back from a punt. We run 3 plays and punt it right back.
Because I know our 3rd down, because I didn't look at stats, but I remember something was like 3rd downs were like 3 for 12 or something. So I want to say we probably had like, what, 6 3 and outs, maybe? I'm not sure. Tell me.
I think there was only 2 or maybe 3 where we had to, like, we got 3 plays that didn't succeed and had to put in Stonehouse to punt it back to him. There's only like 3 of those. And Stonehouse delivered. I mean, almost every one of his punts was inside the 20, inside the 10 almost. And I'm just like, dude, this guy is a game changer field position wise. But in my opinion, like in the Falcons game, how many times did Stonehouse come out and have to punt? Once.
All right. So before we get further into that, I wanted to Google something to see if it made statistical sense before I said it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I could have been wrong. I'm just spitballing here. I just woke up.
These are the teams that make up the top 10 on defense for the 2023 season. Number 1, the Cleveland Browns. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, anybody got any guesses?
49ers.
I want to say Falcons for 3.
Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
3, Cowboys.
Believe that.
4, the Chiefs. Number 5, the New Orleans Saints. Number 6, the Falcons.
Maybe we dropped them because they were like number 4 before we played them. I think.
Maybe. But that would make sense.
Yeah.
So the Titans played the Saints week 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns week 3. The Ravens 2 weeks ago just played the Falcons. The Steelers defense in all other categories beyond takeaways and sacks does not rank higher than 29th in anything. Run, pass, pressure rate, nothing. So I posed this question to you guys. Do you think that there is any merit to the idea that a lot of Ryan Tannehill's struggles versus the performance we've seen out of Will Levis has been because of the level of talent that they're playing? The Falcons had a good chunk of their defense missing. Their defensive line was there, but Grady Jarrett tore his ACL in the game. I think their starting right corner missed the game and one of their safeties. Do you think that it makes sense that Ryan Tannehill struggled early against these guys because, 1, he didn't get to play at all in the preseason. 2, because those defenses were better than what the Titans were able to do with the offense they were trotting out there, in the sense of the offensive line did not look good until against the Bengals? You know what I'm saying? And the Bengals defense isn't good. They're not even top 20. So is there some sort of mixture of those things, or is it purely that Will Levis is playing at a much better level than Ryan Tannehill?
I'm gonna go first on this one. I apologize, Mayor.
No.
Seriously though, I like analytics, but I watch all these rankings. Okay, so Steelers defense might be ranked that low, but people forget to take into account who did you play? What were the circumstances when you were playing? Who was injured? Like it's an ever-changing organism, both your defense and your offense. They're always changing.
Right.
Like nobody could have predicted that we'd have 5 injuries on the offensive line last night.
Correct.
Like seriously, it's something that's unpredictable. So I think that dealing with what you need to when it comes at you is something that Levis has actually handled better than Tannehill did, because when things arose that changed the circumstances for Tannehill, he was like, I think I'm getting paid $15 million whether we win this or not. So I mean, I don't know. That's just, I understand all the rankings and everything, but I don't always agree with them.
I think everything that you said, Kurt, is a mixture of all of them. Like I said on the last episode, I broke that down about who they actually have played. They played really, really tough defenses. That's why I think on the last episode I said be a little patient with the line, because who they played. They played some of the best defensive lines that are in the NFL. You know,
Yeah,
that's why
you mentioned that.
that's why I kind of said later on in the year, schedule kind of lightens up a little bit. So the Titans can just stay in striking difference for the division, and in the playoffs, you know, kind of look out, you know. But I do think that Ryan Tannehill, I don't think that he's played great. Like the Saints game, he didn't play well. But that also has something to do with Vrabel not playing him in the preseason, which I don't think that makes sense. And I've been saying that for years. The team starts off slow every freaking year. It takes them a game to get moving. You know why? Because they do not play in the preseason. Like, I'm not saying that you have to play a whole half, but every game, play 2 drives, play 3 drives, something like that. But no, you don't want to play him at all. And then the last game of the preseason, Tannehill goes out there and hands it off 3 times. Why the hell did he need to do that? What's the point of that?
Absolutely.
And then went out. It was you might as well not even played at that point. That's why I think Vrabel can be, and I like him personally, but as a coach, he can be a little bit of a douchebag, because everybody's complaining about it all over social media, all over the radio, and he's like, "Well, here, damn," and then you want to be a smart ass and then tell your quarterback to hand it off 3 times to the backup running back. Or did Henry play that game?
I think he literally was he had like 2 carries. No, he didn't play.
No, he didn't play.
Yeah, he handed off to Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's just like, it's just the dumb stuff that the coaching staff like does. The personnel. Like, I'll go back to 3rd down and 4. If you're gonna run, I have no issue with it. I was even saying it at the watch party I was at. I actually thought that they were going to do that. But the problem, because actually it's not even dumb. Because the thing is, you're in 4-down territory, run it. Maybe you get the 1st down. Maybe you make it 4th and 1. And then, you know, I get that. And you've got like 2 minutes left. You don't necessarily have to throw it all over the yard. And guess what? You got the ball back, you know? But on 3rd down and 4, just run it. Just run it with your running back, man. Like, I don't get like what's up with that. This coaching staff, Vrabel, if he keeps screwing around, he's gonna get his ass fired.
Yeah.
Like, period.
I think what he's doing is he's trying to, like, he was a great player.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. Like, even Patrick Mahomes said, I want to play for that guy after the
We'll come play for us then. Don't talk about it.
I know, right? get your butt over here, right?
Yeah.
But no, I think he's trying to play politics too much. Like, listen to his coach speak. What does he say after at almost every press conference? Well, we got to coach better. The players, need to work on their fundamentals. We got to do this better. Yeah, but you're not doing it better. You gotta follow through with what you're saying in your press conferences. Don't just say it to say it.
Yeah.
And he's trying to run the politics where he's not trying to give too much away. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing and blah, blah, blah. You're not a politician, bro. You're a football player. You are now a coach.
Yeah.
Do what you do, and we will respect you for it. I mean, when we lose all these games, every single away game we've had, and yes, I'm counting the Ravens as an away game, even though it was technically a home game, but it was in a different country.
Yeah.
So every away game, we're
I
getting
think that
destroyed.
count as an away game for both teams.
Yeah,
I think they need to stop doing that. I think
that's my opinion too. The only ones that should call it a home game is the Jaguars because they're gonna end up there one day.
I think if you play multiple games there, then that's different. But
Yeah.
I think that if you only are playing there one time, I think that should be an away game, and then
Neutral site game.
If you've eaten 7 or more
neutral
breakfasts in that country, it's a home game because you're familiar with it.
All right. Let me ask this question.
Mhm.
Ryan Tannehill this season has been sacked 5 times in one game. Exactly how many times?
Twice.
Okay. What is his record in those games?
0-2.
1-1.
1-1. Sorry. Damn,
Yeah.
I got it in late.
That's what she said.
No, she said, hey, we need to talk.
So the Cleveland Browns was the loss, 27-3. The Chargers was the win, 27-24 in overtime.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill's best game this season was against the Chargers. 20 of 24 for 246, 1 touchdown, no interceptions.
So if Vrabel puts him back in, basically what you're telling us right now is fire his ass.
I mean, all I'm saying is that's his best game of the season against a defense that sacked him 5 times.
As a team, our best game of the season was last week on Sunday. Period.
Well, agreed.
Well, the Bengals game had to be the best.
Bengals was 18 of 25.
What was that? 27 to
240,
27 to 3
one
we won, right?
sacked 3 times. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just like kind of right there.
The
Colts
score made it look better than it was.
It kind of skews things a little bit. He's got more yards in it, but his completion percentage is significantly lower, and he doesn't have a touchdown.
Like I said, score made it look like a better game than it actually was.
Yeah. All I'm saying is there is a little bit of merit to the idea that Ryan Tannehill played a more stacked slew of defenses.
I don't give it. I don't care about the Steelers' defense at Heinz Field when they're playing Renegade. I mean, the Will Levis won me over on that pass where it was 2 holding calls in a row. It was like first or second and 23, and you put it right on the money to Dion.
Oh, Dion. Yeah. Straight out the end zone, bro.
So even though that, yes, the Falcons defense, they were missing some guys, but you can only play who you can play. I do agree that Ryan Tannehill, it wasn't ideal opponents to start off the season. And I actually gave Ryan Tannehill a little slack as far as like, his stats and things like that, because I recognized who he was playing and I recognized that the offensive line is terrible. So I get that. But Will Levis, to me, just the way, first of all, you need to see what you have in his quarterback. Number 2, I just think that the offense is moving, even though we only scored 16 points last night. I still think that offense is much better with Will Levis in there than it was with Ryan Tannehill. Will Levis gives you a threat of, okay, this guy can throw it 50 or 60 yards, no problem. He don't have a problem throwing it deep. Even though Ryan Tannehill can throw that far too, he's not as trigger happy as Will Levis. So that's going to help your running game too, And I thought Derrick Henry had a good game.
He's not as accurate on that deep either.
You said what?
I said I don't think he's as accurate when he throws it that deep either.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Will was putting it in some bread baskets.
He was. He was.
Those words.
Treylon Burks has a 70-yard reception to his credit during that Chargers game.
Yep, and that's very true. But Ryan Tannehill could not make Kyle Phillips look this good. So I'm Team Willis. I'm Team Willis.
Look, I'm not trying to change your minds. I'm just trying to paint the picture as why maybe Vrabel is thinking the things he is.
Vrabel's a damn baboon. At this point, he's lost his damn.
Well, yeah, but you're playing the Steelers, who, while they definitely got one of their best defensive players back this week in Hayward, the defensive lineman, perennial Pro Bowler, they didn't have Minkah Fitzpatrick, and as we talked about before, it was old man Patrick Peterson.
He's
old. And Joey Porter Jr., who on that first drive for the Titans, he had 2 flags on him on one play.
And they tried to act like after the game, like he just shut D-Hop down. Like, how many flags did he have?
Yeah, it was retarded. Like, he was literally 4 plays in a row. He was the person who had the flag on him. I was like, is this going to be the game? Is this how this is going to go?
Yeah. And but I will say this though, I think that he did a lot of grabbing last night, but it was some of them that were not. Like, I wouldn't even call. Like, to be honest, the referees were atrocious. Both of the roughing the passer calls on both the Steelers and the Titans, it's BS. Glove boy still had the ball in his hand trying to throw it away. There's linemen trying to tackle him. What the hell are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, they have to do something about that NFL. It's ridiculous. That, like, I don't care. People are like, well, that's the letter of the rule. Okay, I get it. But the thing is,
they don't call it for everybody equally.
They don't call it. They wouldn't call it for Ryan Tannehill. I can tell you that right now.
And when you're a 320-pound man like Jeff Simmons, and you throw yourself while somebody still has the ball, they throw it out. And what are you supposed to do? Just change gravity and make sure that you don't land on him? No.
Whoa, back up. You can't fly?
No, I can't fly. Can you?
The hell?
I ain't R. Kelly, man.
Thank God you're not R. Kelly. It'd be awful if you were.
I don't get that. I do not get that. I think that's it's BS. Sorry, it's Bush League. Like,
no, I made a video last year. Late in the season, it was where one of the defensive linemen, I think it was from the Rams or something, landed on Patrick Mahomes, and boom, it was a straight up good tackle. And he even put his hand down and like tried to get off of him, and still they called roughing the passer. But then I watched the same thing happen, and I put this as the second part of the video. I was like, this same thing happened to a completely different quarterback who everybody doesn't go nuts about, like Mahomes, oh my God, or Tom Brady, woo. And same exact thing happened, except this guy didn't try to put his hand down and stop. He just fell right on him. No call. I'm like, well, what are we doing here? Are we calling penalties based on popularity?
That's
not
cool. Yeah, that's why Will Levis got the call, because he's a sweetheart of the league right now. Everybody's still talking about him today. Matt McAfee was talking about him this morning. Everybody talked about him last week. I swear, if we get a sweetheart in NFL, I will go insane.
Yeah, but
I want a Patrick Mahomes playing for my football team.
Who's talking about Kenny Pickett right now, other than injury status?
Nobody.
Yeah, no.
Nobody. Can we get like Dua Lipa to date one of the tight ends? Does she like black guys? Get somebody hook her up with shit. Come on now.
Where's my Beyonce?
You know what I'm saying? Can we get one of these singers to date one of the damn tight ends? Like, come on now.
Yeah, dude, Jennifer Lopez. She's got the age, but still looks really young. You gotta give her that. Oh
yeah. Ain't no, but she would do her ex, Ben Affleck. Ain't she with him?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Sweet. Now, Dua Lipa said she was looking for a tight end. Now I need start. I'm sorry. If Dua Lipa was on the internet, if I was a tight end and like I had the capability to doing something, and Dua Lipa talking about she need a tight end, you think I ain't going crazy?
Hey, girl.
If I had the ability, I'm like, oh snap. Oh yeah, I'm like, coach, throw me the damn ball.
Mayor be like,
You give me
well,
the ball.
coach, I'm a quarterback, but apparently she only likes tight ends, so I'm switching positions, please.
Right. Exactly. I think that's why. But she did say, and she's obviously trolling, but like she did like call out George Kittle and said like what's up or something. And I think George Kittle like went off the next week. I think he had 30 points on my fantasy team. Bit like right.
What is the connection here? Jeez.
It's women and men. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I want to do something impressive in front of a girl.
Hey, that's the biggest motivator.
Eternity.
It is.
That's the biggest motivator, man. I mean, Will Levis. I mean, you seen how his beautiful ex was. Like, it made him go hard. I'm sorry. Like, but
and he got back together with her right afterwards.
Idiot.
Travis Kelce failed, and they're like, "Wait, I'm looking up at the press box. There's no Taylor Swift there. What happened?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it dates back to cavemen when he said, "Oh, I kill biggest dinosaur. You see? I bring home buffalo."
Yeah, Will Levis, you crazy for that, man? Because like, there was no reason for her to like leave you, and she did. I would I'm sorry.
I would not go back. No, you never return to the scene of the crime.
Nah, I mean, there's certain situations to where you can, and we're going off on a tangent, but there is certain situations where you can spin the block. But I think that. Okay, why did you break up with him for? Because like he got drafted he was the 33rd pick. It wasn't like he went all the way to the 6th round.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he's got some SA allegations. It wasn't like there was no reason for her to like even leave though. So she get to Nashville, all of a sudden she go to Midtown a couple times, and now that just changes like her whole. You walk in the streets of Midtown. First of all, who does that? That's on that side of Midtown too. I seen her walking, okay, and I was like, where is she going? So like, Will Levis, you do you?
Well, let's shift gears here a little bit. All right. During the game, close to the end, Treylon Burks has a scary incident where he goes up for a pass and hits his head pretty hard on the ground and was eventually carted off the field. As an update, he was able to leave the locker room standing. He walked into the ambulance. He rode back home with the team on the bus and is currently in concussion protocol. So all things are good. He's fine. Everybody breathe for a minute. Now, I know how after the Damar Hamlin thing, everybody's just like, anytime somebody gets carted off the field, we're like, this could be it.
Yeah, that was scary, man.
It really was. I didn't think they were going to stop the game, because like injuries just happen like that, but I mean I get it.
Yeah. That Damar Hamlin situation, it shook me up for a couple of days. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because it was just kind of like an awkward, like literal perfect timing had to happen. Like his heart had to be in the certain part of a rhythm. He had to be hit in just the right spot, and it all the weirdest elements collided together to make that moment happen.
Yeah, you got weirdos blaming it on a damn shot. Like, come on, man. Like, really?
No,
people are idiots.
I don't like even thinking about that because like I was watching that game, and when I watched him fall, I was just like, I didn't see anything happen to him. What the hell went wrong? And then they, news started to come out, and I was just like, dude, that's some serious stuff. I know we love football. We love the violence of tackles and stuff like that, but that's some serious stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't even a violent play. It was just like a normal.
No. It was
he kind of like took him into the chest a little bit, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Then he got up, was ready to go, like walking back to the huddle, and then bloop.
It's the same thing when I had my accident, my very first accident ever in my car. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, man, I'm thirsty. I need to pull off of this exit. I'm doing about 65, which is the speed limit. And I pull off on this exit that goes big circle. And for some reason, my brain said, it's time to have a seizure. And I rolled that car 3 times, destroyed it. But they pulled me out. And I'm going, well, I didn't see that one coming. Just random things, human body, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Glad you're okay.
Just so everybody knows, I don't have any more seizures, and I got my license back after 6 years.
Woo! Why do you take your license for that anyway? You got a seizure.
If you have a seizure, you're not allowed to drive anymore until you are clinically, medically diagnosed that you can no longer have them. Because otherwise, you could kill, 10 people. Luckily for me, nobody else was on the road at that time on that exit. So I would be destroyed if I had actually hurt somebody else. That would kill me.
I seen a guy on the interstate the other day. They showed on Twitter that he had a seizure, and people had got to him because his car slowed down, and they got to him and helped him out and stuff like that. So,
thank God.
Could have been bad.
Absolutely.
Well,
anyways, that was off topic.
No, it was on topic. It was on topic.
I mean, it was, but it was.
We got more on topic at the tail end of the last episode. So I think talking about an experience like that, I think that's kind of inbound. So you're good.
And Curtis, I did want to say this. I don't know if you saw Blake's comment on Wes Wisely's post. It garnered a lot of hatred.
No,
last night. Yeah, it was after the game, and basically all he did, and I stood up for him repeatedly because he got the reign of the internet hatred for it. And all he did was say that he thought Burks was kind of a wasted pick. He cannot stay on the field. And everybody was like, well, he's injured. How could you dare talk about somebody who's injured? And it's just like
Caleb Farley.
Yeah.
Caleb Farley. Talk about him all the time because he's not on the field.
He's never on the field. And it's becoming the same with Burks. And I'm sorry, but if you're Samuel L. Jackson in Unbreakable and you're playing the character that is going to be later referred to as Glass because you've broken every bone in your body and you're constantly injured, somebody's going to bring it up. Don't get offended, because I want Treylon Burks to be a healthy person. I want him to no longer be injured. I just think this is the wrong sport for him, and this is the wrong team for him.
I just think, I didn't see that comment by Blake, but I think that, timing is everything. Like the DeMar Hamlin situation, like with what Skip Bayless said, I didn't even think anything he said wrong, personally. But it's just the timing of
the timing is 2023 when people are too sensitive.
Hypersensitive, and then it's just say that maybe a couple of days after everybody knows that he's okay and stuff like that. But Blake is wrong. Treylon Burks hasn't been healthy since he's got here, and this is his second concussion in 2 years. He got his block knocked off last year in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's not his fault. I'm not going to ever blame a player for a concussion. If you just get hit, you just get hit. And then wrong with that. But he's also had other injuries as well. Caleb Farley, shout out to Caleb. Caleb's good acquaintance of mine. Love Caleb. But he hadn't been able to stay on the field. He's had, off the field, unfortunate situations happen, with his father and everything like that. And, we hope that I hope Caleb gets back on the field, because I think that what I've seen out of Caleb, when he played, especially when he played that Bills game a couple years ago, I've seen some good stuff out of Caleb Farley, and I think he can put it together. But the thing is, he's been hurt. But you can say that he is a wasted pick because he just hadn't been out there, and that's not inaccurate. You just have to be careful on when even I have to be careful sometimes. I don't ever really speak on guys that are injured, really. Especially when they go out on concussions or something like that. I might say somebody's made of glass, but people are sensitive to injuries and stuff. You have to be careful with those kind of things. But we love Blake. Blake's a good guy.
When it comes to Burks, I'll be honest with you. I hope he turns it around by the end of this year. I think that he's got a lot of skill. He's a good guy. And in Blake's defense, he's been saying that about that player for about a year now. So it's not like it was brand new. So I don't consider it bad timing. He was just repeating what he's been saying.
Yeah.
Valid. I get that.
All right. Well, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap this one up. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you both for taking time out of your evenings to talk about your team. I want to thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button. We're trying to get 15 likes on this episode. Like to get 5 subs. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And if you have a name for a Titan-specific podcast in mind, drop it in the comments. We're shopping around. You know, I'm not opposed to taking suggestions.
I got one. I just thought of it. What do we call it? The Victory Way podcast. You know, the Titan Stadium is on Victory Way. I don't think anybody's used that.
I like that.
That's nice. That's very unique.
That's definitely a good one.
It's a bit of a thinker though, because a lot of people don't know that it's on Victory Way.
Yeah. The real Titans fans know this on that it's on Victory
No.
Way.
What I'm saying is maybe put a picture like a road sign or something. Literally. I mean, you live in Nashville, right?
Yeah, I live right there.
You could actually get a physical picture of that, and that could be like the intro.
Yeah.
Victory Way. I love it.
Hell yeah.
That shouldn't be the final. I think that everybody that contributes to the show should put in something, and then we can have a group vote. That's literally just something I just thought about. Like
No, that's cool. That's like cool when they called us the tickle monsters when we had a good defensive line. I was like, no, two-tone terrors. And I tried to get it to catch on, but nobody really liked it. And then we stopped having a great defensive line. So it was just like, well, that doesn't
call
work
them the tickle monsters because they played better when they when we called them that. And then now they are playing like some damn tickle monsters. So maybe we start calling. Somebody said this on Twitter this morning. Why don't we start calling that again so they can play better? Because they always that's what I don't like about some of the players, man. Even Jeff gets on my nerves sometimes. It's just like you always got a problem with what the fans is doing. Like, bro, you just made $100-something million. If we want to call you the damn tickle monsters, get the hell over it. Like, honestly. Like you mad because we booed. Get over it, man. Like, who cares? Like, it's not like
the fans, right?
Yeah, if we want to call y'all the tickle monsters, bro, who cares, bro? Like, just go out there and play football. He's a good dude, great player, all that. If we want to call y'all the tickle monster, first of all, that was a damn troll. Nobody was being fucking serious. We just said it because it was funny. Like, that was it. Lighten up.
I have no idea how it caught on, though.
Yeah, it caught on, but it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a damn joke. We're not being serious. Lighten up and tighten up, Big Jeff.
Lighten up and tighten up.
Well, with that, that's the end here, boys.
All right, thank you for the invite, Curtis. It was